Nigeria welcomes ExxonMobil proposed $10 billion investment in deep water oil operations. President Bola Tinubu policy is critical to achieving short and long-term national prosperity, says Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Insecurity in different parts of the country has been a recurring challenge for successive governments since 1999.
Kwara State High Court sentences of a bank robbery gang to death by hanging. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Olajide Bello. Many thanks for joining us. Vice President Kashim Shettima has welcomed ExxonMobil's proposed $10 billion investment in Nigeria's deep water oil operations, describing it as a clear testament to the administration's economic reforms and investment-friendly policies. This is coming during a higher-level meeting with ExxonMobil executives on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. Sitas correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Aligns with the Tinubu administration's vision for a more investment-friendly Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima explains President Tinubu administration's effort in ensuring ease of doing business in Nigeria, highlighting recent policy changes to unify the exchange rate, remove fuel subsidy and implement tax reforms. Addressing the specific concerns of the oil and gas sector, the Vice President said the goal is to strike a balance between attracting investment and ensuring fair returns for the Nigerian people. Chairman and Managing Director of ExxonMobil affiliates in Nigeria, Shane Harris, reaffirmed the company's commitment to investing in Nigeria. The centerpiece of ExxonMobil's new strategy is the Owo project, a substantial subsea tieback that could represent a $10 billion investment. Meanwhile, the international maritime giant DP World has announced plans to develop a multi-billion-dollar port project in Nigeria. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the group chairman, revealed the company's intention during a courtesy visit to Vice President Kashim Shettima on the sidelines of the ongoing United Nations General Assembly in New York. The proposal comes as a direct response to President Tinubu's drive and effort to improve the ease of doing business in the country. The DP World chief expressed confidence in the Nigerian economy, citing the country's vast import and export market as a key factor in their decision to invest. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the proposal is a testament and commitment to attracting foreign investment to Nigeria. He assured the investors of the government's full support and the administration's dedication to facilitating foreign investment and economic growth. From New York, Abdurrahman Jibrila, Nta News.
President Tinubu's address at the 79th United Nations General Assembly has been described as professional, assertive, and a call for development. Reviewing the UNGA 79 and President Tinubu's address in Good Morning Nigeria, Ambassador Bolaji Alade Akinremi from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Nigeria's permanent missions in New York is on standby to implement key resolutions of the UN through the 5 committees in the UN. Ekemini Williams has the details.
Ahmed Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the 79th United Nations National Assembly, addressed a number of issues, key among which was the need for multilateralism and inclusivity within the United Nations, Security Council reform and advocacy for a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. Commenting on these points, diplomatic experts on the program agreed that Nigeria deserves a seat at the Security Council, but advised federal government to first of all build capacity to a level beyond reasonable doubt.
We have achieved some landmark, events, there in terms of the high-level activities that we engage in, and also bilateral meetings on the margins of the General Assembly. But you have asked about the significance or the high point. I think the high point in President Tinubu's statement delivered by Vice President Shettima is the idea of governance. He has emphasized in his speech about the dangers that are facing democracy today. That is, if governments, democratic governments, could not deliver the basics and essentials of life to the people, then democracy itself becomes questionable.
This idea of Nigeria being the big brother is a good thing, it's a fancy thing for Nigeria. But sometimes, as a big brother, you also have to remember that you are also a human being, and demand for, a space to act that big brother. And I think Nigeria demanded for that space very, very clearly.
They called on political scientists and Nigerians in diaspora to examine, collaborate, and extract nuances of President Tinubu's address, which can be developed upon to further certify Nigeria as the big brother of Africa. The experts further urged government to strengthen its permanent missions in United Nations as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs through trainings and opportunities to lead.
Foreign policy, diplomacy, and international relations is that it's not a dash. It's a long run. So there must be consistency and there must be the drive. And a lot depends on your internal domestic policies.
The guest commended the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the professional touch they gave to President Tinubu's address at the United Nations. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, Nta News.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has reassured Nigerians of the commitment of the federal government to deliver dividends of democracy to the citizens. In a World Press Conference to mark the 64th independence anniversary of Nigeria, the SGF says President Tinubu is aware of the hard socio-economic situation Nigerians are going through, while efforts are underway to addressing them. He recapped various socio-economic policies introduced by President Bola Tinubu, which he described as critical to achieving the short and long-term national prosperity. The presidential initiative on CNG aimed at reducing high costs of transportation and to cushion the impact of fuel subsidy removal, access to education through student loan scheme, removal of tariffs on importation of staple food items, strengthening the economic backbone as well as tackling insecurity are some of the areas of achievement highlighted by the SGF.
High institutions in the country. It's a welcome release for parents and an opportunity to access education by indigent students in particular. Insecurity in different parts of the country has been a recurring challenge for successive governments since 1999. This administration has succeeded in elevating the human institutional capacity of the armed services and other security agencies to tackle these challenges of insurgency, banditry, and other criminal activities, including kidnapping.
Independence anniversary activities continue with a special Jummah service on Friday, 27th of September at the Abuja National Mosque. A special church service will be held at the Abuja National Christian Center on Sunday, 29th, and the President will address the nation on Tuesday, 1st of October, 2024. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris has acknowledged the 25 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria as a testament to the will of the people to attain and sustain freedom and liberty for posterity. As the nation celebrates the 64th independence anniversary, the government image maker called on Nigerians to sustain the spirit of resilience as the government intensified efforts to cushion numerous and daunting challenges. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
As the host and chairman subcommittee on media and publicity of the 64th Independence Anniversary, Mohammed Idris set the tone with a reflection on activities of the government.
Despite global economic headwinds and the transitional pains accompanying some of the reforms, the President has remained focused in his efforts towards reviving our economy and returning the country to the path of prosperity and sustained growth. Undoubtedly, one of the significant setbacks to rural socio-economic development in Nigeria has been the absence of direct fiscal control by elected local government administration. In a landmark move, President Tinubu has taken a decisive step toward implementing local government autonomy by seeking a verdict from the Supreme Court. The young people of Nigeria now have a clearer path to sustainable tertiary education through the student loan. Complementing this is the new Consumer Credit Corporation established to guarantee access to low-cost and flexible consumer credit.
He is confident that Nigeria at 64, the Tinubu administration's 8-point agenda being implemented, has proven to be the needed antidote to decades of development challenges.
A lot of work is ongoing towards ensuring macroeconomic stability, stabilizing the foreign exchange regime, reforming the tax system to make it more efficient and less burdensome on Nigerians, repositioning our oil and gas sector to attract new investment, and prioritizing the diversification and expansion of government revenues. Following the removal of the petroleum subsidy, President Tinubu is gradually guiding Nigeria into an unprecedented energy transition phase. The ongoing rollout of the CNG and associated infrastructure is reducing transportation costs for Nigerians up to 60%, creating jobs and attracting tens of millions of dollars in local and foreign investment.
Worthy of note, he mentioned are transformative strategies on security and the relaunch of National Values Charter designed to meet up with the contemporary needs of Nigeria and close the gap of the nation's lost prosperity. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the time has come for Nigerians to take pride in the nation and celebrate with all sense of patriotism the country's 64th independence on October the 1st. This is coming from the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, which urges the citizenry not to take Nigeria for granted, but rather count the blessings that have been bestowed on the nation since gaining independence in 1960. NANS President Lucky Monefe calls on Nigerians to rally around the Bola Tinubu administration, believing that things will ultimately be great again for the people. Various activities are also being lined up to mark the occasion.
Our coveted National Day itself as a day that unites the entire country and rekindle our sense of patriotism. We should also know that as citizens, it is incumbent on us to always rally around our country and its leaders at all times. We should remember that leaders serving democratic mandates have to be supported to deliver. I am pleased to inform you that NANS, under my leadership, has planned a series of activities to ginger up our dear members, our respected students, to own up their country, and for us all to celebrate Nigeria in a grand way.
And moving to the National Assembly, Senate has approved an additional 288 billion naira 2024 supplementary budget for the Federal Capital Territory. The budgeted amounts are to be used to implement projects to improve human capital and infrastructure in the nation's capital. The budget, which is for capital and recurrent, allocated 256 billion naira for capital projects. Meanwhile, senators passed the bill to establish Southwest Development Commission, which seeks to enhance socio-economic development in the Southwest region. This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. Let's take a break now. More reports when we return.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman Interministerial Committee on Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary, Senator George Akume FNIMCON, wishes to announce the programs lined up for the celebration of Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary with the theme, Reflecting on the Past, Inspiring the Future, as follows. World Press Conference, Thursday, 26th September 2024. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Garki, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Special Jumu'at prayers, Friday, 27th September 2024. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. Interdenominational Church Service, Sunday, 29th September 2024. Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Presidential broadcast, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Time 7 a.m. 64th Independence Anniversary Parade, Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Venue, Presidential Villa. Time 10 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 9 a.m. Announcer Mohammed Idris FNIPR, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, and Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee.
Thanks for being there. The House of Representatives is set to investigate issues around petroleum marketing and pricing in the country to make the product more accessible and affordable for Nigerians. Following a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Abeko Oforji, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas referred the matter to a joint ad hoc committee to be constituted by the leadership of the National Assembly.
The House further note that in view of the high demand by millions of Nigerians for PMX and the ordeal they go through to get it, the NNPCL should allow independent marketers to lift the product from the Dangote refinery.
We should put our confidence on the joint committee, let them do a holistic job and report back to us. And one of the terms of the reference is to look into this same thing you are talking about.
Correspondent Mitai Pen reports that the House also passed resolution seeking the reconstruction of dilapidated highways and bridges in parts of the country.
Nominate Amayokam Bridge as a national disaster. Urge the Federal Ministry of Works to immediately commence reconstruction of the collapse of the bridges to ease hardship being faced by the road users.
Urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, FEMA, to immediately commence repairs on the Asaba-Onitsha Express Road and the East-West Road in Delta State immediately.
Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Road, Emergency Maintenance Agency, FEMA, and the Ecological Fund Office to urgently fund the construction of a new route that will link affected communities to each state across Nigeria.
And to the judiciary, Akwa State High Court has convicted and sentenced Ayode Akinibosun and 4 others to death by hanging over their involvement in the deadly April 2018 bank robbery in Offa. About 30 people comprising policemen and civilians were killed during the robbery. The report is found by Abdulaziz Alaya.
2018 was a day to remember in Offa as daredevil robbers invaded the town and robbed at least 5 commercial banks. Many people, including 9 policemen, were killed in the process and undisclosed amount of money carted away by the robbers. Ayode Akinibosun and 4 others were arraigned for illegal possession of firearms, armed robbery and culpable homicide. After 6 years of legal battle, Justice Alima Salman finally put the case to rest by convicting the 5 defendants. The judge, in about 4 hours ruling, sentenced the convicts to death by hanging as prescribed by the law.
Trial has been concluded today, and then His Lordship saw that the prosecution has proved his case beyond reasonable doubt and then convicted them for those 3 major offenses: armed robbery, culpable homicide punishable with death, and unlawful possession of firearm. And on possession of firearm, His Lordship reduced from 10 to 3 years.
Plan of action.
Of course, in line with the AG or your state against Bilo, it's an automatic appeal. It's an automatic appeal, and definitely it's going to stay. So I think it's one of those things that Mr. Emeribi have started doing, comparing the record and whatever, so that at least we move to the upstairs.
Ayọ̀adé Akínníbọ̀sún, Aziz Salaudeen, Niyi Ogunderan, Ibikunle Ogunleye, and Adeola Abraham were among the gang led by a dismissed policeman, Michael Adiku, who later died in police custody.
This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. Let's take a quick look at the major news highlights. Nigeria welcomes ExxonMobil proposed $10 billion investment in deep water oil operations. President Bola Tinubu policies critical to achieving short and long-term national prosperity, says Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Insecurity in different parts of the country has been a recurring challenge for successive governments since 1999.
Kwara State High Court sentences bank robbery gang to death by hanging.
This is Nta News 24.
Many thanks for being there. INEC has presented certificate of return to the governor-elect of Edo State, Wande Okpebolo, at his national headquarters in Abuja. INEC National Commissioner Professor Rhoda Gimus also presented certificate of return to the Deputy Governor-elect Dennis Idahosa.
Very happy because Edo people have spoken, and now for me to go and do the work for them. That is what they elected me to do, and that is what I'm going to do.
You know, we now have a governor who will respect our traditional institution, which is the heart of our culture. For me, this is what excites Edo people.
We have recovered our state, so we are so happy, especially that our governor-elect is an experienced politician, a distinguished senator who has a blueprint for the development of Edo State, and we assure you, you will see great changes.
Presentation. The governor-elect and the deputy will be sworn in November this year. President Bola Tinubu has promised to work with the governor-elect of Edo State, Wande Okpebolo, to deliver good benefits of democracy to the people of the state. The president made the commitment as he received the governor-elect at the State House. President Tinubu commended the key players in the election, including INEC and security agencies, for delivering a peaceful election in the state.
Thank you many times over for a hard work. To the party, well, this is your victory. To the leadership from Edo, it is yours. Thank you for giving us the joy of this victory. It is. You work hard. You earn the victory. Democracy is difficult, particularly in the emerging economy like ours. If you hear complaints from America and other places, you know how difficult it is to navigate, a democracy. But it's the best form of government. It's the only way for stable development and progressive realization of our dreams.
Sam Isaiah Foundation has urged Nigerian youth to imbibe the culture of integrity and discipline wherever they find themselves. This appeal was made while inaugurating trustees and implementation committee for 250 million naira to the 2023 Outstanding Young Person of the Year Award, Awalu Salisu in Abuja. Alika Okpanachi Arua reports.
In an era where get-rich-quick syndrome is prevalent among youths, the Nta Azaya Foundation is promoting a culture of integrity and discipline.
During our time, we were taught to be patient, and today it has paid off. Those that want to rush, most of them, where do they end up today? And this advice does not only goes to the young ones, it also goes to the parents.
Just walk the talk. Do not be talking too much. Let them see what you're doing. You lead by example. You teach them by showing them what they should do, not by telling them.
At the 2023 Outstanding Young Person of the Year Award, a young Kekena Pep driver, Awalu Salisu from Kano State, emerged as the winner. His honesty and diligence earned him the award after returning 30 million naira left in his tricycle by a passenger. The Nta Azaya Foundation, in collaboration with the Niger State government, has been mandated to give the 250 million naira to Awalu Salisu and his family.
So what the committee is going to do next after this inauguration is to go to Kano. Instead of asking Kano to come, the committee has decided to go to Kano to meet with Awalu and members of his family, which would of course also include members of the trustees.
Unfortunately, Awalu Salisu was unavoidably absent, but his honor was present, and his story serves as a beacon of hope, inspiring Nigerian youths to prioritize integrity and hard work. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi Arua, Nta News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.